In this video, you'll learn the most important rule in calculus so that you'll be able to solve physics problems like this one. So let's start with the power rule, which is a rule in calculus that helps us to find the derivative of a function. Now, when we say derivative, I want you to think of slope or a rate of change. And the basic format is this. So if you have a function, which is a variable to the nth power, to find the derivative of that function, we just take the exponent, move it to the front, and we subtract 1 from the exponent. Let's take a look at some examples. Now we're going to take a look at a series of problems applying the power rule, with each problem getting more and more difficult. To find the derivative of t squared with respect to t, we're going to move that 2 to the front and subtract 1 from the exponent, and we get 2t. To find the derivative of t to the 5th power, we're going to move that 5 to the front and subtract 1 from the 5, and we get 5t to the 4th power. If we have a number in front, which we call the coefficient, we're going to leave that there. We're not going to remove it. But instead, we're going to take the exponent and multiply it by that coefficient. So 3 times 7, we get 21. Subtract 1 from the exponent, and we get 21t squared. Now let's find the derivative of a polynomial. To do that, we're going to find the derivative term by term. So let's start with 3t squared. When we have a coefficient, remember that we're not going to remove it. We're going to take that number, multiply it by the exponent, and then we're also going to subtract 1 from the exponent, and that gives us 6t. And the derivative of 4t is 4, so our answer is 6t plus 4. Next, we're going to find the derivative of 2t cubed minus 5t squared plus 6t minus 9. And once again, we're going to take the derivative term by term. So the derivative of 2t cubed is 6t squared. Derivative of 5t squared is 10t. Derivative of 6t is 6. But notice over here we have a constant. The derivative of a constant is going to be 0 because there's no rate of change occurring there. So our final answer is just 6t squared minus 10t plus 6. So at this point you might be wondering, what does calculus have to do with physics? Well, in physics, there's a lot of relationships where we're dealing with the rate of change. And here's an example. Let's say that the position function is 4t squared. So on a position versus time graph, we would get this curve. If you remember from previously in physics that the slope of the tangent line of a position versus time graph tells you the velocity. And in this case, that slope on the tangent line is going to change at different times. And so we want to come up with an equation where we can plug in a time and will tell us the instantaneous velocity at that time, right? So to find that equation, we take the derivative of the position function to come up with a function for the velocity. And the derivative of 4t squared is 8t, which means that I can plug in the time into t here, and this will tell me what the velocity, the instantaneous velocity is at that specific time. Next, we'll look at a position function, 3t squared plus 2t plus 1, and we want to find the velocity function. So we're basically going to find the derivative of this position function, and we get 6t plus 2. What happens to the 1? Remember, it's a constant, and if it is a constant, then the derivative of a constant is going to be 0. Now we want to find not only the velocity function, but also the acceleration function, starting with the position function. To find the velocity function, we're going to find the derivative of the position function, 2t cubed, which we get 6t squared. To find the acceleration function, we take the derivative of the velocity function, and we get 12t. The thing to remember is that the velocity is the derivative of the position with respect to time, and that the acceleration is the derivative of the velocity with respect to time. Now let's find the velocity and acceleration for a position function of t cubed minus 6t squared plus 9t. And for the velocity, we get 3t squared minus 12t plus 9. For the acceleration, we get 6t minus 12. In the velocity function, the 9 is a constant, so its derivative is 0. Using the same problem, we're going to ask the question, when is the object momentarily at rest? To answer that, we're going to set our velocity equation equal to 0, and we're going to solve for t. The reason we're setting it to 0 is because we want to find when the object is at rest, when the velocity is 0. We're going to factor out the 3, we're going to factor out this trinomial, and we get 3 times t minus 1 times t minus 3. And our solution is going to be t is equal to 1 or 3. So at 1 and 3 seconds, this object will be at rest. Now we're going to look at the velocity and acceleration at a specific time. We're going to start with our position function, find the derivative of our position function to get the velocity function. And in our first example, we have the position is equal to 5t squared plus 3t. The derivative, the velocity will be the derivative of that function, and we get 10t plus 3. Substituting 4 into this function, we get 43 meters per second. Our next position function is t cubed minus 4t squared plus 2t. We're going to find the derivative of that function to get the velocity, which we get 3t squared minus 8t plus 2. And then we're looking for the acceleration, so we have to take the derivative again of the velocity function, which we get 6t minus 8, plugging in 3 into our function to find the acceleration at 3 seconds, we get 10 meters per second squared. Now we're going to find the acceleration at time 0, and our given velocity is 12t squared minus 4t. I want to encourage you to pause this video, give it a shot, and then check your answer. The first thing we're going to do is to find the derivative of this velocity equation, and we get 24t minus 4. Then substituting 0 into our acceleration equation, we get that the acceleration is negative 4 meters per second squared. Now we want to find the time when the acceleration is 0, and our given velocity is t squared minus 6t plus 8. You may want to pause, give it a try, and then come back and check your answer. To solve this problem, we're going to once again find the derivative of the velocity to get the acceleration equation, and we get 2t minus 6. Then we're going to set the acceleration equation, set that equal to 0, because we want to know when it occurs that the acceleration is 0. So then solving for t, we get that t is 3 seconds. If you want more help in applying calculus to physics problems, check out my free calculus survival guide in the description.